Hey, everybody.
Hello, guys. Come on in the room. Come on in. Come on in. We are back, y'all. We know that y'all missed us. We've been taking a little bit of a break for the past 2 weeks, and we are kicking off season 10 today
Yeah,
of
season
the Sister Connection
10.
Show Talk Show. So if you're watching us right now, hey Diane. If you're watching live or on the replay, hello everybody. You're watching the Sister to Sister Connection Talk Show. Tawance and I stream this show live and in color, honey, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about some
Mm-hmm.
hitting topics that's based around sisterhood, spirituality, and stability. And
Yeah,
girl, there's been a whole bunch of foolishness going on. And we're going to talk about it.
we're going to talk about it
We're
tonight,
going to talk
honey.
about it. Okay, we're gonna talk
Mhm.
about it today. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so yeah, so my name is Letitia Gamble. I got my sister friend, Miss Tawanta James Jones, right beside me. Both her and I do this show together. And oh, girl, do we got a special announcement? Girl, hello, Tawanta has been inducted into the Ministry Hall of Fame.
Ooh.
Okay. Come on, let's give her flowers. Congratulations, Tawanta. Tawanta, talk to the people about what's been happening, honey, behind the scenes, what you've been working on. Go ahead, sis.
Yes, for the past 3, almost 4 years, I have been in ministry and training at my church. And this past Sunday was the official ceremony. Friday was the official examination, and all of my classmates we passed. Thank the Lord. It was stressful, but we
Yes.
did it. And Sunday afternoon was the elevation service. So it was me along with 4 other reverends that got elevated, or other ministers that got elevated to reverends. Uh,
Right.
5 of us got, ministers, and then we had deacons and trustees. So yeah, I am officially licensed as a minister of the gospel.
Woo, woo! Congratulations! That is huge. That is so
Thank
huge.
you,
I'm so
Diane.
beyond proud of you. I know the community is proud of you. You've been posting all over social media about this. And this took a lot of commitment. I'm pretty sure there's some people who started with you probably didn't end
Hmm.
with you guys,
You're right.
but we also pray for them as well to get kicked
Mhm.
back going. But how does it
Mhm.
feel? Because we start a lot of things sometimes and don't finish them, right? So how does it
Yes.
feel to finally start something and then you finished it? Another thing you have started and finished, and how you've gotten through the times where you felt like, girl, this too much.
Um, I knew the call, I saw the vision, and it was confirmed. And that was it.
Right,
Because I said, God,
right.
show me, just give me confirmation, because I don't play with ministry like that.
No,
So I got the confirmation, and it was a done deal. And I said,
right.
so it will be done. And that was in 2019. And originally we were supposed to have been done 2021. But of
Oh
course,
yes, I remember you said
2020
that.
COVID came, and
Hmm.
it just shifted everything. And even during COVID, I got terribly sick, and a lot of my
Right,
colleagues got sick and everything. So, and then after that, I had 3 deaths back to back: my
right,
brother-in-law,
right,
my aunt, and my sister-in-law. So it was rough. It was frustrating. It was shocking, and all of those things. Excuse me, but I knew that this was part of the process.
right,
That was part of the process, and I just trust God through the whole ordeal, because you really can't do this journey on your own. There's no way
hmm,
possible. You do need the Holy Spirit to help you, and through the challenges that you will be facing.
right,
And that's pretty much how I got through it all, even up
right,
until this point. This past Sunday, my
right,
peers and I, every one of us, we all had something going on in our lives. Some of them got sick,
right.
lost family, some was homeless, some had surgery.
Hmm.
Everybody in my circle had something going on. They still got challenges going on in their life, but they still
Right.
feared. There was a couple of them that came in a little bit later into the group. They didn't start with us in 2019, but they came into the group later on during the year. And we did miss one person that chose not to do it. That was before COVID, I think,
Right.
because of their work schedule. Their work schedule was just taking too much time for them or whatever, so they just opted out, you know. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, this is not for everybody.
Yeah.
It's not. Being a minister is a beautiful calling, is a beautiful thing, but it is a very serious calling, and you really have to commit to it 100% because you're dealing with the lives of people.
That's
You
right.
know, you're
And I
dealing
can
with the lives.
understand why it's a serious calling, because just like you're going to be helping so many people, but
Yeah,
you can also be getting sometimes some kickback, some people who you're trying to get into the right direction. And sometimes it's
yeah.
hard when you can't save everybody, you can't reach everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to be really prepared, for what it is that you're doing in ministry. So that way you could be in it for the long haul. Because even I'm pretty sure even with people who have gotten their certificate, their certification, all that, they went through the weeks long, years long process, then
Mm-hmm.
get into it and decide not to do it anymore. So now I know
Mm-hmm.
a few years from now, I think that's going to be another conversation that you and I are going
Yeah.
to have, as far as like how did you kept at it long term and didn't quit or give up or anything like that. So
Oh
I
yeah.
totally congratulate you.
Oh yeah, I mean, because like I said, ministry is not for everyone, and even those who have been doing this longer than
Hmm.
I have. If you remember
Hmm.
during the pandemic, a
Yeah.
lot of churches closed down.
Oh yes,
You
yes,
remember that
yes. A
a lot
lot
of
of churches closed
a lot of
down. A
churches
lot.
closed down. Preachers pretty much just basically shut it down. It's like I don't want to do this anymore.
Right. Right.
There's some had passed, unexpectedly.
Right.
Due to COVID and maybe some other issues as well. So
Right.
it is not for the faint of heart. It
No.
really, really isn't. You just have to, and we learn too through this process that you do need God every single day. You
Right.
cannot just
Amen.
carry this weight all your own and think you can
Nope.
handle it, because you can't, because you
Mm-mm.
don't know what you're going to be dealing with when you come
Mm.
across that challenges. You don't know, and you have to be, spiritually, dressed up. Got to have the spirit, your helmet of salvation. You got to have all of these, the spiritual garment, if you will,
Right.
to go out there, because you're dealing with so many different spirits, so
Yeah.
many different challenges, so many different things, and even though you got your own thing going on,
Yeah.
that's
Your
another
own
thing too.
self. Yeah.
Yeah, you got
Absolutely.
your own issues going on, but you
Hmm.
got to put that to the side, because now you dealing with God's people that is in need of some words of hope and encouragement, and all those things too. So
Right, right. And just you now, you practicing providing that balance as you get more
mhm,
into it, of your own personal self-care, your own personal spiritual well-being,
mhm,
because there's so much going on in the world today. So I know with that, it's like you having that time for yourself to say, okay, let me decompress, let me,
yeah,
because we're all still human at the end of the day. So
right,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So we have a great topic to talk to you guys about
You
today.
do.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
Tawanta in just a second explain it. But even for, we've all dealt with being in environments, whether it be work, family environment, business environment, where you sort of felt like the people around you aren't for you. Like you felt like probably the people around you I know for me personally in the past, I would say 4 years, a lot of people who I thought were close to me,
Mhm.
surprised me, in a bad way.
Mhm. Mhm.
And to go through that aspect of being disappointed,
Mhm.
being angry, right? Because we're human.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we're
Yep.
going to get angry,
Yep.
being upset, and also being depressed about it.
Mhm.
All those emotions can happen at one time.
Yeah.
We want to have this conversation on the recent events of what happened to, how you pronounce his last name, Don Lehman or Don Lemon?
Lemon.
Lemon,
Mhm.
yeah. What I don't know if you guys have heard or been, hey, Letitia, it's so weird to say my name. I don't normally say my name all the time. But
Mhm.
um, you guys have probably heard of what happened. If you don't know, he was fired. Fired. let go from CNN. And I was telling Tawanta the other day, guys, that I don't remember watching CNN when he wasn't on it. I know he's said
Yeah.
17 years, but I don't know. I've never not remembered him being on it. So, the topic tonight, and Teresa's going to pull it up for us, is really going to get you guys to become more aware of your environment, and also give you guys some tips on how to, even when you're uncertain on whether or not people are really for you, to
Yeah.
still have that sense of success and survival, what have you. Okay. So,
Hmm.
Tuanta, before we jumped into the topic tonight, we also have our self-care event coming up.
Yeah, we
Okay.
do.
This week, actually, right?
Yep, this Saturday.
This week, y'all. And in light of what has been going on the news and on social media, I know you guys need to be a part of this. Okay.
Oh
So
yeah, you
If
better.
you go, yeah, Teresa, if you could put up the graphic for us, please. For those of you who haven't purchased your tickets, thank you, love. It's going to be this Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to go to sistertosisterconnection.com to purchase your tickets for this amazing virtual self-care event. It's going to be Tawanta, my amazing sister friend Ladavia, and myself are going to be hosting this event on how to process your emotions. Because, baby, we go through a
Hmm.
lot of
Girl, do
emotions,
we?
right? We go
Woo.
through a lot of them. So, all right, let's get into tonight's topic. All right, Tawanta, go ahead and tell the people what we're going to be talking about tonight. All right, go ahead, sis.
Yeah, so the topic tonight is called The Company You Keep. And as Letitia was saying about recently, we heard about Don Lemon getting fired, from CNN. I mean, as soon as he was done with his segment for that day, not long after, he gets a text, from his agent telling him that, CNN just fired him. And he was stunned, he was shocked, he was in disbelief, he was, and very just angry. And he has every right to be, of course, because he was not expecting that, right? And he even had quoted stating that it would have been great if someone would have forewarned him, or someone would have had told him something was going on, if you will. But that never happened, or what have you. I don't know if anybody else was aware before he found out. As far as with CNN family or whatever,
Right.
we don't know, and we may never know for all we know. But at this point, it's a very shocking and disturbing
Mm-hmm.
outcome for a man that has made his presence known for 17 years globally.
Wow.
And he was always professional, always straight to the point. He never disrespected or never dishonored anybody on the show. He pretty much was very balanced when it comes to the commentary or coming to or discussions or what have you. So if those of you who watch CNN on a regular, you know who Don Lemon is, you know what his whole purpose, whole criteria, everything was. And I don't watch the internet much, but I have seen him, of course, doing his thing when it came to something, something globally on the news, that he so happened to, commentate on or what have you. So when I was listening to, well, reading that, I pondered on the thought of this: the company you keep.
Mm-hmm.
How many of us know the company that we keep?
Mm-hmm.
We have been around these same persons or group of people for months, if not years at a time. And we have built a relationship. We had built trust. We had built, time. We invest in time with these individuals for a
Mm-hmm.
good while. But
Mm-hmm.
you see what happened to Don, it could happen to you, if not already have happened
Right.
to you. And so we just want to talk about this because this is a serious conversation, and we definitely need to be alert and be aware of who we really connect, the people that we connect to. Can we really trust them?
Mm-hmm.
Are they really committed to us? Are they
Mm-hmm.
really committed in our future and our purpose and our vision,
Mm-hmm.
just like you are to them? Because of course, 9 times out of 10, Don was committed to that biz to CNN. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think he had any interest of retiring early.
Mhm.
He's a young man,
He's still
you
young,
know.
yeah, very young.
Very young, exactly. And I don't
Mhm.
think he had any intentions of like slowing down or
Mhm.
trying new things or whatever, you know. So yeah, we just want to really bring this to your to you attention, ladies, and just to be alert, to be aware
Mhm.
of your surroundings. If this is not for you, maybe it's for someone that you know
Right,
that
share it
has,
along.
yeah, that has some friends, business friends that that they've known for a while, because
Mhm.
people can change, people
Mhm.
shift, people
Mhm.
go through things, life happens in a lot of
Mhm.
people lives, and some people don't know how to handle those situations, and it
Right,
can do some things. Hey, LaShawn, it could do some things to somebody emotionally, you know
right.
what I'm saying? And especially if they see you progress or you elevated, to another level in your business, in your ministry, in your personal life. How are your friends or or the company that you keep or you associate with, do they really take you at heart? Are they
Mhm.
really supportive? Are they really, really happy for you? That
Mhm.
kind of thing. So yeah, we're gonna, get down deep on this or what have you, and hopefully this will be a blessing for you all tonight.
Right. I think so too. I mean, I wrote down, um, I feel like sometimes we really gotta check our surroundings, our group of friends, our group of personal friends and business friends, and and
Mhm.
and even like look at how people celebrate you, because those who are celebrating you sometimes are not really celebrating you. Instead of them doing
Absolutely.
this, like yes, it's sort of like, you know what I mean? So it's a lot. I mean, I don't want to have to keep looking over my shoulder all the time and
Come
things
on.
like that. But I feel like for me, and I know for some of you who are watching, you do
Hmm.
feel like you have this, spiritual discernment sometimes to know who's really for you, who really
And
not
who's
not
not?
for you. But
Mhm.
sometimes people could be so good at
Yeah.
just making you feel comfortable enough to be open and to share and things like that. I just learned a brand new personality trait called um, dark empath. You know how some people say that, hey, I'm empathic, but there's such thing as a dark empath, someone who listens to
Mm.
all your darkest, deepest secrets. And when you get into the argument, they bring it up. Like, wait a minute, I told you that in confidence.
Wow.
So it's just like those are the things we have to look out for. But yeah, let's get into these topics because there's so much things that we're going to dig into tonight.
Yeah. So the first
Hmm.
point that we're going to talk about with the company you keep is that they are not loyal.
Hmm.
That is number one. They are not loyal.
Right.
You
Right.
have to understand, like I said before, people change, people can
Hmm.
shift,
Yep.
people can totally be dismissive, people can just be just nice, nasty,
Yep. We
you
talked about that
know.
before.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're just not loyal. And again, going back to Don, I mean, I'm pretty sure now he's looking at those individuals that was working with him that morning. He walk into the building and
Hmm.
he's saying good morning, how you doing? And he's laughing, they laughing back at him. And even maybe the president, I don't even know if the president of that company was there. Now, I really don't know, but it's just so shady
So
how,
shady.
yeah, how they did this, brother. You know what I mean? And so again, you look at yourself, and you look at the people who you work with. Maybe this had happened to you some time ago when you was
Hmm.
working for somebody, working for a company or what have you, and you really thought that manager or that coworker,
Hmm.
that you went bowling with, that you went to the movies with, you dined with, you thought they were your best, best friend or what have you, but then you
Hmm.
find out they were not loyal to you at all. They
Exactly.
robbed your ideas. They took your ideas and
Hmm.
they're gonna go ahead and post it on their social media, or put it on the report as if they had thought of the
Right.
idea. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So, you really have to be mindful, because this is the season where people are just really all about themselves,
Yeah.
and they will do whatever means
That's
necessary
right.
to get
That's
that
right.
right on them. They
That's
will do
right.
what they got to do,
You're
right? and that
100%
and that
right.
means right and that means to just sacrifice the friendship
That's
that,
right.
you and this person have built, so they can get their promotion. They
Right.
can get, they can get that status, or they
Right.
can get, get the likes and the followers or whatever it is,
Right. Right.
and we can't continue to be passive and just be so deceived by, by our surroundings.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, and like it's something that can be challenging for us all to do, but we got to understand that the people who are around us is important. It's definitely important for you to take an inventory of your personal friends and your business friendship relationships to see who's
Hmm.
loyal, who's not loyal. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
even going back into Don, it's like
Hmm.
we could be at a job 20, 30 years and think that that
Girl,
job is loyal. Jobs are not
girl.
loyal. When I
No, they're
heard of
not.
this story yesterday from Tawanta, as I was reading the articles, I was like, I started to remember different past experiences that I have experienced with colleagues where I've seen them how they got terminated and the shadiness that will go on and how all the back end stuff and without this person even knowing, they literally just
Hmm.
walk into work and all of a sudden they say, "Oh, tap you on the shoulder. Can you come into the office?" And they close the door and then they say you're terminated for whatever reason. You know what I'm
For
saying? They put
whatever
certain
reason.
clauses in
Yeah.
your uh, uh, new hire packet when you first sign up to say, hey, if you have an attitude all the time, we can let you go. You know, I
Hmm.
forgot what term that is, but these jobs aren't loyal. And I think it was Ronald. What's his name? Tawanto Ronald, the guy, the black guy.
Don.
Not Don, the guy that was
Oh, I know you're talking about Roland Martin.
Roland. I said Ronald. Roland Martin. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, Roland Martin. Um, he said something. I think LaShawn Hackley, who's on here, she said this in one of our group chats, and how he
Hmm.
quoted how the only people that is not going to get fired at your job is the owner of the company,
Yep.
right? We all
Yep.
can think, "Oh, I'm never going to get fired. I'm always going to be here. They ain't going to never rope me up." The only person that is guaranteed cannot be terminated is the
Yeah.
owner, okay, of the
Yeah.
company. I'm not talking about the director or the manager or whatever. They can get replaced. I'm talking about the person who founded the company. The founders don't get
Hmm.
fired, employees get fired. So if you're an
Absolutely.
employee,
Yep.
yes, Ronald Martin, if you're an employee, you can get fired. And I've seen
Right.
it all the time.
All the
So
time.
I know he's been with the CNN for, over 17 years. And sometimes we get comfortable with that.
Yep.
Right? We
There
get
you
we get we
go.
get like, okay, I'm good.
We get
Yeah, I see new people
settled.
coming in.
Yeah.
Yes, I see them shifting positions and adjusting titles. You know how they change up titles and stuff to make it. Next thing you know, you get called into that office, and for whatever reason, you know,
That's the key word right there. You get comfortable. You get comfortable with it. I know, I remember years ago when my husband was working for Chrysler, and not just him personally, but the people that he associated with at the time, they were working with the company for a good while. I think Letitia's frozen. They had, worked for a good while, and then, oh, there she is. She's back. And
sorry, I had a call.
oh, okay. And
Yes,
I remember, I think it was 2007. That's the year, I think, when the economy crashed or what have you.
yeah,
But
yeah,
prior to that,
2008, 07. Mhm.
yeah, prior to that, the company, well, all the big threes, Ford, General Motors, and of course Chrysler, they were already doing some things behind the scenes.
Right.
You know, Jules says our friends, colleagues, clients, employers, and even family can be seasonal,
They
and
could be
that's
seasonal.
okay.
Hmm.
Hmm. Hmm. That's the truth.
Yeah.
And if you remember the company, well, at the time they were just doing things behind the scenes, as Letitia
Right.
just said, and there were people on the floor. They saw things, and they were talking and everything because my husband was talking about it and stuff or what have
Right.
you. And they started to see things starting to change, even with their salary. Their salaries
Yeah.
went down.
Yeah. The
The
benefits,
Yeah, the
stuff that
benefits was going
different
down.
comps they were getting before they weren't getting anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The salary went down to 15%, that's how they cut 15% of the salary,
Right.
and it was tight. It was really tight. And then they moved on to starting to get rid of some of the top executives,
Right. Starts at
some
the
of the
top.
VPs, but they had benefits along with that. So it's not like, well, they ain't missing nothing because they got money and they gonna get even more money, kind of yada
Right.
yada
Right.
yada yada. But after a while, then we started to see, because my husband was the first group of people that got laid off with no severance package.
No
None.
severance package.
None
Nothing.
whatsoever. Everybody just left with the box of their personal
That's
items, and
it.
that
I
was
I
it.
remember I've gotten laid off one time on April Fool's Day. And this was
Mm,
years ago. Like it's like right after my first child was born. And I thought they were joking. They put us on a conference call, and they
wow.
said this is the last day. I'm like, what? And even with Don, like I
Yeah.
think you said Tawanta, it was his agent who called him
Yeah, that
and
text.
said
Hmm.
that guess what, you don't have a job tomorrow. Like, wow, like they couldn't even give him the respect of just pulling him in the office
Yeah,
and just sort of
exactly.
parting ways, shaking hands and parting ways on that note. So that when I heard that, I was like, I think something shady was going on. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like they couldn't
because
even face him.
again, yeah, if anybody's been following Don, of course, they have already been, the company, CNN have already been um putting out stuff about his previous interviews and how
Right.
it went and how he talked and how he said some things
Oh,
that was
stupidity.
questionable and all these
Mhm.
things. But I really don't think that was the truth of it all. I
Right.
think they just used it as a cover up because they
Right.
already had him, like Roland Martin said, they already had a dag on his back.
Of course.
They already had him right there on the plank. I'll just be
Right.
honest with
Right.
you, right? And they just waiting for the moment they could just push him right over. And a couple of days ago, that's what it was. So, you know, I want y'all to comment below. Have any of you ever experienced this kind of situation or something similar?
Yeah,
If
shit.
not
Let us
you,
know. Share your stories.
yeah,
Have you
share your
have you
story.
dealt with this before, whether it be disloyal behavior or just you working at a job and they let you go or they shifted your position or what have you? I even wrote down to Wanta, I said,
Hmm.
sometimes we always expect people to be loyal to us. We always that's something I feel like. I mean,
That's
it's
true.
not like it was back in the day. Back in the day, I feel like people had something called reciprocity. I don't know if anybody on here ever heard that term. And
Hmm.
especially, hey Kimberly, especially in this entrepreneur space, I feel like now is like every woman for herself. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
know a lot of people that won't, a lot of coaches and entrepreneurs that won't share their platforms with their clients and customers and stuff. Before in the past, it used to be prevalent that way. But y'all share in the chat. Let us know in the comments. Have ever dealt with that? You don't got to say the job name or the person's name
Right,
and give all
right.
that tea. Okay, you don't do all that because you never know who's watching. But just let us know if you ever dealt with any disloyalty behavior
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
But yeah.
So let's
Mhm,
move on to number two. The next thing, ladies, that when it comes to the company that you keep is that,
mhm.
I call them the executioners, basically the
Oh,
backstabbers.
I was just wrote down. Sometimes people are acting like they're loyal to you, but they just waiting for when you fall for them to stab
Yes.
you behind in the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
They're your executioners,
yeah,
right? Those are the ones that are very sneaky,
yeah,
very deceptive. They're the ones that are around you all the time.
yeah,
You have lunch with them. You sit down in the meeting with them. You go out, go out to eat or just go, go
yeah,
whatever it is. They are on your right and your left side,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
They pretty much know about your family. Come on.
Yep, everything,
Because
everything, all your
you never
secrets, all
know.
your
Yeah.
everything.
When
Hmm.
you build a relationship at your job, you're going to build relationship with your coworkers. It may not be
Right.
everybody, sure enough, but there's always somebody, if not a couple of people, that you're going to build more of a closer
Yeah,
relationship
like a
with.
kinship. Like y'all just get along so well. Y'all like similar to the same
Exactly.
things. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
Hmm.
And those are the ones that you gotta be really, really on alert because you
Yeah.
never know. You don't know the mindset of that person. You don't
Mhm.
know how they can one minute just be the light of the world, and the next minute, they are just demonic. Child, they're demonic. They got a whole
All
lot
that,
of planning
all these
behind the scenes.
emotions balled into one person, and it's
Yes,
almost like even when you've heard of them having problems with other people, it was always their fault. Like always, all they don't hold any like self accountability for their role in the situation or the conversation
mhm.
or the conflict or disagreement. But yeah.
Yeah. Now, how many of you have ever had that experience before?
Yeah.
How many of
Yeah.
you have been backstabbed before? And I'm
Oh,
pretty sure all of us have at some point in time in our life that we have experienced that. If not you personally, maybe
right.
someone close to you have been backstabbed. Diane says co-workers who complain about you to your supervisor.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yep.
Absolutely.
I
Co-workers
used
do
to
that.
warn
Mhm.
people, and y'all keep sharing your experiences in the
Please
chat.
do.
I used to warn coworkers when they used to be talking about the other people to
Mhm.
different supervisors or upper management. I used to say, stop doing that because they're telling the person what you said. You know,
Yes.
they're telling the people, so
Yes.
just keep your mouth shut because you can't be around people 24/7. You know what I mean? It's like you
Yeah.
just keep your mouth shut. Um,
That's important. That's
Sean
important.
said, me.
You have to
That's funny.
really be careful how you say things, who you say things about, especially if it's another coworker, even if it is just the manager or your boss. Because again, you'd be surprised how that person can take that information, right? Because they already feeling some kind of way about you anyway, and then
Right.
they see that you are getting the promotion or that you are getting the attention. Your leadership skills is
Yep.
like far none, and you always getting the accolades or blah 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 whatever. They will
Yep.
go ahead and take what you had said about that, and even though that person was agreeing to, but they will make you the one
They'll turn it around on you, you
and
know?
flip that thing so quick and then
What
go
the,
ahead and put you on blast. And
right.
then you get a call back from your manager, from your boss, and they're like, how could you do this? Why would you do this? And you're like, what are you talking about? And they show you, and even if he or she, they probably recorded the conversation
Record the whole
on that
conversation.
phone.
People do that these days. People do that these days. Therese, can you pull up what Jules said? Did
Or
she
what did
said
Jules
something?
say?
She said, let's pull up her comment. She said, it happened to me. Little did I know. Leadership had asked this colleague to keep an eye on me. What? Karma reared this ugly head and they walked her out shortly after. Wow. That happened. I've seen that multiple times, y'all.
Wow.
You will have two people who are having an alliance at the job, but they'll act like they ain't friends. They don't hang out, nothing. It was a situation that happened at a job where I had was at previously, and
Yeah.
we found out that these two people were close because they were taking pictures on Facebook together. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? We're like, wait a minute, why is such and such hanging out with such and such in HR? You know, they
Yeah.
act like they don't know each other in the hallways of the work. Never know.
Wow.
LaShawn said they were scared of me. No, they weren't, child. They were scared of me. They would try to backstab me, and I would go off. I know she is not. Listen, LaShawn will give you a read, honey. Y'all listen. Diane said, do not share your family at work. Do not share your
Mm.
family at work. Everything is treated as gossip. That's true. That
Yeah,
is
do
very
not
true.
share.
Don't bring
Yeah.
your business. And also on this, I'm glad you mentioned that, Diane. On the other flip side, stop sharing your business online.
Come on, preach
Stop
it.
talking. If you're going through issues like in your marriage, I mean, you could share. You like, don't go all into the details of the. I've seen so many people, so many couples just bash each other and online. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like
Yeah.
the social media should not be the jury, the judge, and the executioner of your life. Like, don't share any of that stuff online. I'm telling you, it's not
Girl,
good.
that is
It's
something the
so
truth.
stupid.
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the jobs or the companies, especially these global companies, I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure they have those type of protocols and
Oh yeah,
rules
they do.
of what they should, what the employers should not do, those kind of things,
Right.
because they take that very seriously. That's definitely not suspension, that's termination, and
Right.
all those things. And but again, you got people who will just act like they're so sincere.
Right.
They really do care about you and all of that, but they are taking it all in, recording it, documenting it on their phone or whatever they got, And Kimberly says, I'm very reserved on these jobs. Co-workers
Uh-huh.
be wondering why I'm so quiet. See, I already know.
That's right. This probably be water for you. And going back to what you said about how employers have rules and regulations when it comes to I
Yes.
forgot, conflict of interest. It's a similar word to
Okay.
that. But I've seen that they only enforce that with certain people. And certain people
Mm,
don't get that enforcement. So I personally have seen that. Like, okay, we know the rules is in the book, in the employee manual, whatever they call it these days, but they
yeah.
pick and choose who they, put the gavel down on and who they don't, so even be careful with that,
Wow.
ladies. Like, I always tell my kids, like my kids go to a uniform school, so my daughter was like, mommy, I don't want to wear a uniform tomorrow. I'm like, no, you're gonna wear a uniform, because even though you may see a couple of your friends not wear it, you may
Yeah.
see them not wear it, but you may be the one that gets in trouble, gets sent
That's
home because
right.
you don't have your shirt,
That's
your
right.
polo shirt on or whatever. So
Yeah.
always do the right thing. LaShawn said one lady would lie on me and said I threatened her. What? I mean, my supervisor told her if I threatened her, she would not be there. That's LaShawn, man. Yeah, it's like, you know what? That smoke, if you really got that smoke, you wouldn't be here. I hear that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they just
Mm-hmm.
lie. They just lie.
Yeah. Yeah. Kim says, I don't
Yes, I
partake
don't.
in the
Yeah,
gossip or nothing.
don't contribute to it.
Yeah.
Don't partake in it. Don't
No.
add to it.
No,
Don't
because you
even add.
see this now, this stuff that's going on now. Yeah, as I was about to say that, Kimberly, the Bible speaks of that gossip. The Lord don't play about that,
Don't play
yeah,
about that.
because
Even those
you see
behind
it on the
closed doors
news.
can't do it.
Yeah, because you see it on the news right now. People are getting killed at their jobs
Yep.
because a person lost their job due to somebody said something,
Right.
due
Right.
to the manager, or what have you, and you wonder why this person is getting all irate and all these things. We got
Right.
to be careful of what we say
Gotta be
about
careful.
people. We got
Gotta
to
be
be
careful.
careful of that. But you got people who are very insecure about
Yeah.
who they are. They're very insecure about
You
their
don't know what
about
people are going through.
yeah.
You don't know. You
You
just have
don't
no
know.
idea.
You don't know. And the thing about it is they're so blinded by jealousy, they're so blinded by hate and whatever you want to call it, that they
You're
don't
right.
understand that the person that whom they had built this relationship with, they are going through just as bad as they
That's
are.
right. You're 100% right.
But
You're
favor
100%
ain't
right.
fair either.
It's
That
not.
person, faith, they got promoted, or they got additional $1,000 bonus, or whatever the case may be. It's not like they've asked for it. It's not like they were looking for it. It's just what the favor of God did for them. But there are people
Exactly.
today in this day and age, they don't see that. They are caught up
Yeah.
with their own emotions, and they are allowing the enemy to speak these lies and
Mhm.
deceive them into believing that that they're not good enough, that
Right.
the job is against them, and all this other stuff. So yeah, you just got to be careful of who
Yes,
you
you do.
share your life to.
That's right. You got to find your favorite. And just so you guys know, we're going to be doing our afterglow after the show. So Teresa's been popping the Zoom link in there. Once we're done with this show, we're going to be transitioning into the afterglow. So you can join us there. We go more deeper into tonight's topic, and we just go in there and discuss whatever y'all want to discuss. We'll be there on there long, maybe like 30, 45 minutes. So please come join us after the show for the afterglow. Kimberly
Yeah,
say yes, still wet
wet
behind the
behind the
ears. They
ears.
better get the word. Yeah, better get that word.
Yes, yes. So let's go to number three, ladies. Let's go
Number
to number
3,
three. The third thing is
how
that,
you said,
oh,
how
someone said
comfortable
how
are we
to
with
confront
how?
the individuals that betray our trust.
Ooh,
Oh, that's good.
or do we have to confront them?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I feel like when somebody shows you who they are, pack up and believe them and pack up and move on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like
yeah.
sometimes if
How
somebody's,
comfortable are we to
yeah,
confront the individuals that
mhm,
betrayed our trust?
right,
I think
right,
that has a lot to do with the time that they spend together.
right,
That person is also, what's the word? Observing the
yes,
other person's behavior, you know,
right,
and they pull that out. That person
mhm,
could be super kind and they use that to their advantage.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
And they pull out key words to get that person to become more drawn to them,
Right.
And that's how that comfortability, if that's such a word, becomes huge to them. That's
Yeah.
how they become more comfortable to talk about things a little bit more personal,
Right. Right.
because when you at a business, it needs to be strictly business. That's
It
just
does.
it.
It really does. It really
It
does.
just need to be
And
strictly business.
granted, there's times when we just get really, you know, comfortable with certain people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's where things get kind of sticky. I have confronted people who have
Ooh.
betrayed me. Yeah.
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 And it's
Yeah.
not a good feeling. And I'm pretty sure Don he has already dealt with that.
Yeah.
Probably still dealing with that. Yeah. So the
Yeah. I
third
mean, I
thing
could
for me,
imagine what he was thinking.
oh my
Like, yeah.
gosh.
Let's go to the third thing. Let's
Wow.
go to
The
the
third
third
thing, ladies,
point
that
here.
we need to be aware of, that they are prejudiced.
Yeah.
You got coworkers, you got people at your job that are prejudiced, and it's not just of the color of your skin; it's your sex as a woman.
Yep.
The prejudice. It's just so many different components about that, and they can use that to their advantage. They will try
Yeah.
to twist it and be so conniving about it and all those things, and start messing up the mindset of somebody else. That
Yeah.
is not
Misery loves company.
100% right. Exactly. And that's where you got these cliques in the
Yep.
in these jobs. You have people ganging up on other people
Yep.
in these jobs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I
So
understand.
yeah, and it's I don't know if you want to call it political. I don't even think it is. I just call it stupidity. It's not
It
even
is.
political,
It
ain't
is
got nothing to do with
stupidity.
it. It's just
Hmm.
stupidity at the
Hmm.
end of the day, and these are grown people doing childish things, which
Oh,
some children don't even do this.
yeah. You're right.
You know what I mean? It's just a mean-spirited, hateful person that is doing things, that is hurtful, and it really can do something to somebody else's character.
That's right.
Thankfully, I hope that Don really doesn't allow this situation to really make him feel less of a
Right. Like he
reporter.
doesn't question his talents and his skill
Exactly.
and his years of experience in journalism and doing
Yes.
heavy debates and stuff like that. I was telling
Yes.
Tawanta yesterday, I feel like he should just pivot off and do his own thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what was the
Yeah.
guy that LaShawn said? I'm going to say Ronald again. I know that's not his name.
Roland Martin. Roland.
Roland Martin. Like how Roland Martin has his own show. I feel like,
Yeah.
Don should do something like that. Like his own thing. He brings on his own people. Yeah. Kimberly said, how have y'all been? We've been great, girl. I've
Mm-hmm.
been off here a while, just really getting back engaged in social media. Yeah, get back and stay back, girl. That's the
Mm-hmm.
thing, y'all. Get back and stay back. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they can be
LaShawn. Yep.
predestined. Yeah, that's true. They can. I mean, it's all types of stuff. This that. Why do you think when sometimes women have children, they don't say at the interview, "Hey, I have children," because that sometimes can be like, "Oh my gosh, she got a bunch of kids." She's gonna come in late some days. They're gonna already be having these prejudgment, thoughts
Yeah.
about you. So it's
Yeah.
crazy. I feel like when it comes to that prejudice side, it gets okay. I kind of expect it from white folks and other people who don't look like me. I'm not surprised these days at what they do, right? But when you get it from another sister girl at the job, it don't. I mean, that's a whole nother level of anger. That it's like, girl,
It really is, because you
you
take it
know,
personal, because that's your own sister. That's
yeah, you
you
supposed to
know what
look
I'm
out for
saying.
each other,
It's something more different than versus another person of color. It really
right?
is.
I don't expect much from anybody else outside
Yeah,
of me,
and I
outside of
wonder why that is.
yeah,
I wonder why that is, because if you really think about it, we take that at a whole different level.
whole
We
different
I
level,
mean, we found out that our bestie, our sister friend, the one whom you shared your time with, the one you invited at your house, and this, that for dinner, and this and that, and then you come to find out, oh, I got fired because of what? Or
yep,
she knew about it and she never said anything to me. Or she's the reason why I'm not I don't have this job anymore. And
right.
it's just like heartbreaking.
It
It's
is. It is.
heartbreaking.
And like I'm in the space in the world where I feel like with me, I move in a certain kind of way that I get it. Some people don't understand. Like there's certain things that I just don't do, especially when I used to work in the office space. You know what I'm saying? Where I
Mhm.
wasn't like into the whole conversations of the gossip and go out, let's go out to lunch together. No, I'll be in my car. Y'all check my time. I was in my car going live talking to y'all, okay, trying to get
Yep.
out the damn car. I was not I could have been going to the Wendy's and to the little cafe up the street, but I was in my car. Okay, you know how
Yeah.
many times I'll be walking out, be like, oh, Tish, you want to come here? No, girl, I got something to do. I got to call my bill collector. But I was just making all kind of damn excuses
Yeah.
not go in there with
Yeah.
your girl. But
Yeah.
I just operate in just a different space where it's not like, hey, I'm not going to trust you and I don't want to hang with you. But it's like,
Mhm.
I don't know what your motives are. I know you in
Mhm.
here. And I
Mhm.
know how in this
Mhm.
space here, but outside of this, I don't want to build up
Mhm.
on that. And I feel like
Mhm.
sometimes we got to do that sometimes because, again, you never know when things go left. And that person that you keying with becomes a supervisor one day. They telling you what to do, and now the relationship is sour. So Jules said men rarely use those messy tactics. No, they don't. Women will break down another to
And
think
think
nothing of it.
nothing of
They
it.
don't. You know, men don't do
They
all
don't.
that foolishness. They don't. They don't. They don't. I mean, the stories my husband tells me, and I've been like, oh my god, you guys are
Yeah.
just so funny. They don't.
Yeah.
They don't do all that stuff. Yeah, they
It,
don't
it
do all that
it's
stuff.
and it's bad enough that the company you work for is already in a competitive state
It
anyway.
is. It is.
You
Yeah.
know, so why? I mean, that's stressful alone enough.
Right.
So why is it you have to compete with your colleague, with your peers, the same
Yeah.
person that the people y'all are doing the same thing, if not something similar, but at the end of the day, you're
Right.
all trying to elevate that company.
Yeah. You're
You're all
trying to
trying to
support your family, pay your bills.
exactly,
Y'all have the same
yeah,
goal, so it shouldn't be this prejudice stuff going on.
right,
These things going on. It's like, but like you said,
mhm,
Tawata, people need to keep work, personal, business.
right,
There
absolutely,
don't be these
absolutely.
issues. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all and it's so demanding. CNN is one of the top. If y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but it's one of the top journalist platform in the world. And to get in that position, and to have that night slot or whatever that's the day slot, that's huge. That is
Yeah.
huge. And it's like I said, it's competitive because CNN, they got all these other news platforms that they
Hmm.
are against. So you have these journalists that are been doing this thing for 20, 30 some plus years,
Right. Long time.
for a long time. And then behind the camera, you're still competing against one another.
That's right.
And yes,
I'm kind of looking to see who they're going to, have to replace his position. I don't know if they already
yes.
hired someone yet. I
I
haven't
wouldn't be
gone back and
surprised if
checked.
it's those two ladies. I could be wrong. I don't know, but it could be
You
something
never know.
already
You
there.
never know. They just
That's
might.
already, yep, that's already there, and they're just gonna elevate them to that post or to that
Right.
that spot where he was, and they just gonna keep it moving.
Yep. It's almost going to be like he never was even there.
Exactly. That's
And
the
I've
whole point.
seen that at when I worked at jobs where it's like, it's almost like this person was never even there. They just let him go, and then now they just went
Yeah,
right back, found another person, and we're just
yeah,
right back to usual.
yeah, yeah.
Not
Exactly.
loyal.
And isn't that sad how people do it in relationships today?
Yeah.
They go ahead, they move on, the relationship is over. That boyfriend is gone, that girlfriend is gone, or whoever's gone, and then next thing you know, somebody else is in the picture.
That ain't gonna be me, honey. It says I'm a Capricorn, okay? Because if he leave me, oh, you best believe I'll be put. Hi, yes, come on, kids. Yes, who you, Brenda? You what? You leave? Okay. Anyway, listen. Ain't gonna be no bye. Okay.
Girl, it's gonna be war with you.
Listen. You ain't gonna just race me out, honey.
Oh my Lord, it's funny.
Come on, kids. Come on.
Okay, baby. And that's another thing too. You gotta protect your brand. You
You
gotta
do.
protect yourself. You gotta
Uh-huh.
make sure everything about you that has your name, that is associated with
Yes.
you need to protect it at all costs.
Protected at
Because
all
these
costs.
conniving, nasty, demonic type of spirits, these people, honey, ooh,
They
they
want to
take you
snatch
to
your stuff
court.
up.
They will snatch you dry, baby. You will look like that skeleton on the bench
Yes,
somewhere. I'm
they would
telling you.
come energy suckers.
They get go energy suckers. They will do what they need to do. So that's another thing too, ladies. For those of you who are entrepreneurs, those of you who are doing some things for yourself. I mean, yeah. Here's the deal, ladies. You may not have your own CEO business. You are probably working for somebody right now, and thank God
Right,
that you still have that job today. But I'm telling you, let me ask you this: do you have a B, C, and D plan? Do you have something to fall back on?
right.
Okay.
You got to.
Thankfully for Don, yeah, he has something to fall back on. If he takes the break and take the time out, he can reinvent himself.
He
That's what my
can.
sister
He
and I was
can.
talking about yesterday. That he
Yep.
could start his own, like Roland Martin did. Roland got fired
Yep.
at TV1. He got fired. Okay. Roland, he got like, okay, bump that. I'm gonna start my own gig. And he's
Yep.
been doing it ever since. And that brother is slamming on social
Yep.
media
All over the place.
all over the world. You hear what I'm
Yes.
saying? Right? So those of you queens out there, I'm telling you, you need to have a backup plan.
Yes,
If
you
you're
do a
working for
backup
a
to the backup.
company, you're working for a corporate company, whatever it is, please don't settle. Please don't get
Don't
comfortable.
get comfortable. Don't
Please.
get complacent. Don't feel like you are
Mm-mm.
safe at that job because you're not. LaShawn said, Roland Martin said when he started his job at
Yeah,
CNN, he created his exit plan the
the
day
day
he
he
started the
started.
job.
Yes.
Amen.
Yep. I told you that
Amen.
just yesterday. Yep.
We got it. I mean, thank you so much, Jewel. Yeah, I have
Mm-hmm.
that 6 month plan. You got to. When I was at my corporate job, I had my exit plan. I had my quit date. And
Yep.
I just freaking worked up to that time because
Yeah.
going back to what you were saying, Tawanto, how Don was, certain people started to see something funny going on. I was
Mm-hmm.
starting to see a lot of funny stuff going on. And on top of that, I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. So it's like, you have to not get comfortable. I mean, I feel like the pandemic has taught everybody that, you know what I mean?
Right.
Unless you're like
Right.
blind to it, to say, I need to make some side money. I was just talking to a young lady today. Her and I both walk home with our kids from school sometimes. And she was like, yeah, I work from home. I just, make, a couple of $100 a day here and there. And I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going back to work, because again, you got to battle with the politics of the office. And
Mm.
on top of that, even my husband's job, he was like, now they're switching new management. And now those people want to bring in their people. It's just like,
Mm.
oh, now you
That's
got to start
chaos.
from. That's the thing I hated to want to work in. It's like you
Yeah.
have one director you've been working with for like 4 years, and then you get a
Yep.
new one, and now you got to start from square one
Yep.
again. You gotta,
Yep.
build rapport with that person, get them to
Absolutely.
like you, and
Yeah.
you've already done that. That's such an emotional roller coaster. And I'm
It really
so glad
is.
I'm not involved in that anymore.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. It's very stressful because that relationship that you had with that coworker, with that manager, you're comfortable with that person because that person knows you. They know your style. They know
right.
you work in that environment. But then maybe a few months after that, that manager he gets promoted to
Get
to another.
promoted,
Yeah,
leave for a
and then now
better
you gotta get
job.
acclimated with a new manager that is so opposite.
Yeah, it's always like that.
It's
They way opposite. Either they're super strict or they're too lenient. Like they just
yeah,
this oversight things. You're like, oh my God, this person's like, you
yeah,
know? And you just gotta
absolutely.
get and then now it's like sometimes you may have some coworkers that may change it up on you when a new supervisor come along, because they're trying to
Yeah.
keep their position. And that's the thing. It's between you and that person's check, and they're gonna choose their check.
Woo,
Let's just be real. Jules said
come
that the term at will in the employment agreement, that's what I was trying to say. The term at will in the employment agreement is
is
enough
enough.
evidence to plan an exit. Yeah, it's at will. That means if you come in
Mm.
5 times with an attitude, they can fire you. Okay? You just get, girl, you got an attitude. Yes, let's see Kimberly's comment. He said, I was working at a gym recently and everyone called out the weekend shift and I was running third shift by myself, so I quit. What? That big old gym that was dangerous and the store manager didn't come in and tried to act like she didn't know what was going on. Come Monday morning, I said, hey, that's the
That's the
first and
first
last
and the
time
last
y'all
time
play with
you'll
me.
play me.
Back to
Back
Uber
to
Eats.
Uber
He
Eats.
said building my business.
Building my
Everybody
business.
does Uber Eats, Lyft,
Yeah.
Uber Drive out here. It's like
Yeah.
they work whatever hours they want. Yeah, I mean, And that's another thing. Like a lot of these jobs do put your safety in jeopardy. You know what I'm
They
saying?
do.
They
They
do. I
do.
mean, I have so many stories about that, but we don't
Yeah.
have time to share it on here. But
Right.
they do that sometimes, you know. So
Yeah.
you got to make sure you're keeping yourself safe. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go to our last point tonight, ladies. The
Last
last
point.
point, when it comes to the company you keep, the last point is that they are deceitful.
Yes.
They
Yes.
are deceitful. And you have to be, you really need to ask God for discernment so you can
Yes.
you can know the people who you are keeping company with, that around you, that's around your cubicle, that is,
Yeah.
around you, you next to your office, that's in your lunchroom, or wherever you guys associate with.
And be observant too. I feel like
Very
we need to do
observant.
that. You need to
Yes.
watch how people, especially when you're new coming into something, watch how people treat other people. Because how they treat other people, eventually they're going to do the same thing to you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we
Yeah.
think, oh no, I have my own personal experience with that person, or I just want no
Yeah. Hmm.
patterns don't change, y'all. Especially if you got
Yeah.
a person who's been doing this for a long time. Watch how people, how they treat
Hmm.
other
Hmm.
people. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. And it's just, it's getting worse now than it
It
was
is.
10, 20 years ago. It's just
You
gotten
don't know
worse
what's
now.
real or what's fake sometimes, Tawanta. I think that's always the
Right.
biggest obstacle, you know.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And you really got to be careful with the people you associate with, because again, you just don't know. Now, I'm not saying that everybody, everybody's
Right, right.
going to rob you blind or what have you, because there are very
You're your
few.
man, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
There are very few co-workers that are very genuine hearted people.
right.
you know they're like a dime in a dozen. It's really hard to find them every now and then, but for the majority, you know who they are, the type of people they are, and you just got to be careful around, be around those type of persons. You know a chatty patty when you see one. You
Chatty
know a
Patty,
person
honey.
that is always all up in the tea, right? You're
And
like,
don't,
what
and
you
don't
want
share
me?
none of her tea. But she and everybody else's tea, but she don't drop any of her own tea. That's a big red flag for me.
And you got somebody that's always in your business. They all up
Yes.
in there. Like, what you doing? What you doing?
They gotta know everything. Like, girl.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta open up your eyeballs and really, really see this. Yes,
Yes.
Kim, we gotta use discernment in these jobs today, because again, people are desperate.
Yep.
People are just, thank you, Jewel. Thank you, my
I
sister.
asked her what she want me to call her. I'm like, I'm gonna call you Minister. I need to
Call
put
me
on her
tomorrow.
title, Minister. And we
Oh my
were
God.
talking about that yesterday about titles. You know how when people, ministries, some of
Yeah.
them are like, call me Reverend Doctor or call me Deacon. And they want you to call them that. That's why I was asking you yesterday. What do you want me to call you now?
Tawanda's fine. It's fine.
Do
It's
I
fine.
just-
It's fine.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we you just gotta really just be smart and be
right.
wise when you are in that type of environment. You know the
Yeah,
type of environment you are in. You know the level of conversations that goes on there.
right,
And
right,
so you can pull out the people who are pretty much to themselves, like yourself, and you
right.
can pull out the ones that is all about, oh my God, let me tell you, when I went to the store
Yeah, they
yesterday.
gotta tell you everything.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
And those are the people that you just don't want to really, I'm not saying totally just be rude, but you're not going to build your energy, your investment in time with that person, because if they could go ahead and just pour out all other people's business like that, what makes you
they're
think
gonna
they're
tell
going to do
your
that about
business.
you?
Yeah, and they're gonna tell. They always want to say what you said, not what they told you. You know what I'm saying? They always gonna say
Exactly.
your part.
Hmm.
Why do you think like
Exactly.
all these videos on social media? They see people fighting, and arguing, but they don't show what happened before that. Why that person got
Right.
busted out and popped in her face because she called the girl the N
Right.
word, or she spit on a girl, and the girl went all the way ham.
Yeah.
They didn't show that. You saw the girl windmilling. People. You're like,
Yes.
what?
You know what, that's right, because you got to be careful of these videos too, because when they put
Yes.
these videos out here, they're not putting the whole entire thing from the beginning to
Nope.
the end.
Nope.
They just gonna cup out. Good night, LaShawn. They
Yeah,
just
come to
gonna
Afterglow with Sean. Come to Afterglow.
yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
they gonna cup out, cop out some the one that the juicy parts, I would say.
Right.
They will put
Right.
that out there
Because that's
versus
what sells.
what started that, what
Yeah.
got it to this point. And
Right.
then people gonna go ahead when they see that little snippet, everybody got their own little theory as to what went down. And
Yeah,
then
and going back to what you were saying about deceitful, Tawanta, that's
mhm,
even like that when you're getting into arguments and discussions with people. Like they're going to say what you said when you got mad, but not really
yeah.
say the whole picture.
Right, right, exactly. And you gotta, and I see that a lot on social media where, when something happens, with a celebrity, with a politician or somebody that's well known, you know, they will put it out there on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, whatever, and they will only put that little snippet of what that person said, how they said it, why they said it, when they said it, but not dare put the whole entire event, the whole from the beginning
Right.
to the end, so everybody get a better understanding as to why that person said it
Yeah,
in
say
their
all
defense.
sides. Yeah, and then
Hmm.
have people make that judgment on their own. But again, going
Exactly.
back to the deceit, you will have people that's going to bring together a whole group of girls to come against you, and they're going to
Yeah.
always make themselves their side of it more like, oh, I'm innocent and this person's a monster. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I see that
And that
all the
could be
time.
the
I see that.
conversation with Don right now. Somebody at the
Right.
job is probably saying the same exact thing,
Yeah,
and
you
they
said
are
that
all
yesterday.
innocent. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you said, and what did we say yesterday? He better have a lawyer to do these cease and
Yep.
desist letters and all
Yep.
these things, just in case CNN tried to,
Yep. He got one.
CNN, just in case y'all try to act.
Yep. He
He
already
needs
got
to
one.
say he
He
need,
already
yeah,
has one.
get his
Mm-hmm.
name protected, which you also mentioned. Because
Absolutely.
his Don was Don Lehman, Don Lemon.
Lemon.
That
Mm-hmm.
name is a brand name. That's a
Yes,
brand,
that's a brand, and that brother's worth
right?
millions.
Like
He's worth
Nike, Gucci.
millions.
Hey, Melvina, we love you, sis.
Yeah.
Melvina
Yeah.
had me cracking up today.
Let me tell
So you're
you
the
that
afterglow.
Dom is worth millions of dollars.
He is.
And
He
who
is.
and he already has signed a contract. I don't know, I don't remember what the contract was, but he signed a contract, I think, for another job offering or something like that. I
Oh, good.
don't
I'm
know
gonna
what
look
it
that up.
is.
Yeah.
But you guys are welcome to go find that information. But like Letitia and I was saying yesterday, that this brother has already built an empire for himself,
Yes, he
that he
has.
can take his load and start his own journalism podcast or whatever, just like Roland has been doing. Tamron Hall, how many of y'all remember Tamron Hall from the Today Show?
Yeah.
They let her go some years ago, and I still to this day don't understand why they did, but they let that girl go, and she was hurt, she was discouraged, and all of those things. But shortly after that, that girl reinvented herself. She took
Uh-huh.
her gift, and now she got her own show,
And
and
Don's
she's
gonna
what,
do the
season
same.
4?
Don, do the same thing, brother. Do
Yeah,
your own thing.
do your own thing. And any of you sisters out here that has already had experienced that kind of bad rap, and you are in that position where you're trying to figure out, how can I reinvent myself? How can I get back on my feet? How can I do da 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 da? You already have accumulated, some great things about yourself, about your business, about your brand. Use what you got, use what you already have created, and go from there. Start creating your own platform. If it's a podcast, make that happen. Make your
Uh-huh.
own social media outlet, whatever you need to do, right? Don't sit there and soak for the rest of your life and
Yep.
thinking that it's the end of your work, end of your world. No, there's too much blessings that you got to pour out for people, right? And that's why I pray for Dom that, he does not allow this to break him and destroy him, which I doubt very seriously it will, because he's a really
Yeah.
strong, intelligent
Especially
young
if he has
man.
a good agent and good counsel around him, he be fun.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's going to soar higher than he ever before anyway. So CNN probably is doing a blessing for him in disguise, and he don't even see it right now. But for this, you ladies out here, Letitia and I know that you have invested, you have put out, you have poured out, you have prayed out,
Pour it
in
out,
your
honey.
business, in your
Keep
success.
working your business, please. Don't don't
Yes.
don't be thinking these jobs are loyal because they are not.
Come on, mama.
They're
Come
never
on.
going to be.
They're never going to be. That's what Roland Martin said. These jobs are not loyal and they are not your friend.
No, they're not.
They are
We get
not
so
your friend.
comfortable. I'm getting benefits. I'm getting a discount at Target. I'm getting, you know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, girl,
Oh my goodness.
keep working your business, honey. So
Yes,
when people
yes.
let
And
you go,
thank
you be
God for
okay.
those. Yeah, and thank God for those who have been working for 20 some years and now you in the process of retiring. That's a blessing. Not too many people can talk about that
Yeah,
or really experience that, you know. But again, you still need to protect yourself, protect your brand, protect your future, protect your family, because
yes.
that's part of your future right there. Okay,
Talk
because
about it.
once they let you go, the benefits go, the insurance go,
And
the,
you go, you just
and
poof. Nobody's gonna remember you after a year.
nope.
It's not. You're gonna be like you was never even existed, honey. They
Okay.
clean out your desk, honey. They take out the little pictures you had, little ornaments. You know what I mean? The little crosses you had on around the desk. All that is in the garbage, honey. Jose,
Yeah,
come get this. No shade, but
I'm just saying, come on. We don't need to repeat the past. We don't need to repeat the past. We need to start
yeah.
reinventing a new future. Kimberly says, I'm not ever giving up my
Don't
business.
give up. Don't stop. Don't pause. Keep you going. That you hit the gas. Go 100 miles an hour, honey. You just keep going.
Kimberly said, these
Okay.
jobs are
They are.
terrible.
They are. But ain't nothing new. It's really not. She said my sister retired from corporate at 30. That's right. Go ahead, sister.
Do it. Do it. And there's nothing wrong retiring early at that age. You don't have
No,
to
it's
wait till
not.
you're 50. You don't have to wait till you're 60 to retire. You can retire as early as some have retired at the age of 20, especially
Mhm.
the pro football players. They started playing pro for like maybe two or three seasons or whatever. And they said, I'm retiring
Yeah, if
at
they
the
do
age
their
of
money right
28.
and they make investments, good investments, and manage.
Yes,
They're good. They're good for a lifetime.
exactly.
Absolutely.
So
And I get it.
ladies,
Yeah, go ahead.
no, 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 no. I was about to say, just to remind you, ladies, just stay focused. Don't get complacent, as Letitia said. Don't get
Right.
all comfortable where you are. Please be on alert of the people who you associate with and you
Right.
spend time with, and all of those things. And just pray for the people, honey. Pray for your co-workers. Pray for your
Yeah,
business.
pray for them.
I'm
Yeah.
serious because everybody's, the managers got a lot on their shoulders. Their boss got a lot on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Everybody got stuff going on. So, you know, we just want you to be careful because I know it was just heartbreaking to see what happened to Don. But the thing
Yeah.
is, this is the reality. This is life, and it's going to happen again to somebody else.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, gotta be protected. And even LaShawn said one time to me that God does everything in order. So even if somebody did something that they thought was meant for your bad, he's gonna
yeah,
turn around and make it for your good. So always remember that. Like I was even telling my husband this today. You gotta stay positive. If you're not
yeah,
positive, you're thinking negative, then everything that happens after that is gonna feel and that negative, and that's stressful, right? So
very
I know it's
stressful.
hard. Granted, like I said, I'm a Capricorn, and Capricorns we think the worst all the time. Like we just
Mm-hmm.
think the worst. But it's like you gotta if you gotta force yourself to be positive, then force
Yeah,
yourself to be positive. Affirmations, positive thinking, positive
right.
conversations, all those things. Yeah, we thank y'all for joining us. All
Yeah,
right, do we have a what's news tonight?
I don't think so. I didn't see one.
Right, right. But if we don't, I'm so sorry, y'all. I was meant to upload the graphic. I saw something on Instagram that
Mm-hmm.
really troubled me. I think we should add this to what's news. Let's talk about that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
It was a screenshot I did. They were showing the average household income
Mm-hmm.
for all ethnicities, right?
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
want to ask y'all a question. Guess who was at the bottom of that graph. There was like a whole graph, right? Oh, we do have a what's news. Okay. Okay, we'll get into the graph later. But this says the woman launched the number one discovery app for black. Oh, yes. Remember, Tawanta, we said we were going to talk about this. So, like we were just talking in light of, you know, focusing on having good, loyal people around you,
Mm-hmm.
having a great, circle or what have you.
Mm-hmm.
Also, be mindful, ladies, that we got to get out there and support our Black-owned businesses.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
I asked
Yes.
Therese the other day, actually yesterday, if she could. We talked about this previously, long
Mm-hmm.
time ago on this show. But I told her to find like the app that where if you could download this app on your app store, and let's say you're looking for a nail salon. This will help you find a black-owned nail salon. Let's say you're looking
Right.
for a black-owned bakery, a black-owned barbershop, black-owned salon. This app will help you to find that. So Reese is going to already put the link in the chat. Again, this young lady launched the number one discovery app for black-owned businesses. So please, ladies, check that out. And you never know, you could be, driving around and say, you know what, I'm out of state. Let me go support a black-owned business. There's a lot of content creators that actually spend their lifetimes doing this, just only going to different black-owned businesses, restaurants, locations, and taking pictures and supporting the business. So please make sure, ladies, let's not just do this on Black History Month or Martin Luther King
Come
Day.
on.
Okay. Let's try to at least do at least couple, more than 2 days this month. Find out, if you go into the supermarket or something, see if in your area there's a black owned supermarket. I get it if it's
Yeah.
2 hours away. You like, girl, listen, you know what I mean? That's gotta
Yeah.
blah. But if you have one close near you, definitely get out there and support them. So I think this is
And
awesome. Let us know.
also,
Yeah, go ahead,
And
sis.
also, I wanted, and I forgot to, I just remember when we was talking yesterday that
Uh huh.
ladies, if you would, on What's News, we always post, some businesses that's going on, like this one here, that's Beautiful Queen. But if you know of someone in your neighborhood that
Oh
has a black-owned
yes,
business,
yes.
please let us know that. Post that here. Let us know who the person is, and that
I
we can
agree.
give her a shout out. And those that are not in your location, they may want to come to Florida, or they may want to come to Virginia, on vacation or something. They will remember that person that you connect, that you support, and they will go to their restaurant, or they will go to their salon, or they will go to their shop, or whatever it is, and check out their
Oh
merchandise, and
yes.
and buy their products or something like that. So this is sister to sister connection. This is the,
Period.
what I'm saying. This is the infinity ring, if that makes sense, right? It's an infinity ring. So next time, ladies, come next week. This is your homework assignment.
I'm gonna do it too because there's this new black-owned pizzeria right up the street from right in my neighborhood. So
Okay.
I'm gonna be
Okay.
mentioning them too because yeah,
Yeah. So
that's
you never know,
awesome.
somebody may want to come to New York and come in, in her
New
neck,
York, honey.
yeah, in her neck of the woods or whatever, and they want to get some pizza. You remember, because Letitia
So
had put
I
it out
just
there.
said it the same way we say it out here. You can tell she's from up north. It's like New York.
Yeah, baby.
I said New York. I said New York.
New York, baby. What's up?
Oh my God, New York.
Baby.
But yeah, go ahead, love. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, this is what we want to do. Start
Right,
posting that. If you know someone that's making jewelry, that makes clothes, that
right.
that kind of thing, and their shop. You've been around that area many times, and you just want to support them this way. Make that
Right.
happen so we can put that
Connect
out
them.
there.
Connect them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm done.
Yes.
So this beautiful queen here, this woman launched the first discovery app for black owned businesses. This is amazing. You guys can go ahead and check her out to see if she is on the app store. I gotta check her out myself when I get a chance. And definitely launch and put this on your phone so you can find out some areas, some places within where you live in particular, that may have some places that you like. Oh, okay. You never know, somebody may have their own bakery.
Yeah, you never know.
You make like sweets or something. Somebody's getting married soon. You might be looking for a bridal place, a place that makes bridal cakes, I'm trying to say. Um,
Right.
you never know. But definitely do your research too. You got to do your homework. you
And
know.
this is what we used to do more back in the day, like way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? When
Mhm.
all we could do was shop with each other. Now it's like with Amazon and all these other things.
Yeah,
It's kind of
yeah.
hard to do that, or people just don't do it as much. But yeah.
That's the truth. That's the truth. So you were saying about the article you came across,
Yes,
Patricia?
I want to show it next week. Because I really want to post this so you guys can see it and get the whole
Gotcha.
dialogue. But I'll
Yeah.
put for next week's show. I'll show you guys that. It's going to surprise you, ladies, and also going to inspire some of you guys to, you know, start moving your businesses and ventures out there. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So if we don't have any other what's news to post, that's great.
Nope.
Again, to not this Saturday, ladies, we have our self-care event. And if you have not already, please go ahead and register for this event. It's this Saturday at 11 a.m. Okay, we have a guest. Her name is Ladavia. And did I say her name right, Ladavia?
Yes.
And she's going to be our host, and she's going to talk to us about about our mental health and all those things. And every single one of us need to be there to hear about this, because we are all dealing with something that is compromising our emotion.
Yep.
Okay, so again, it's how to process your emotions, because we know we try to self medicate our emotions real quick, and it may
Yes.
like numb it for a while, but once that numbness is gone, it's back to that pain and agony, y'all. So we definitely need to find a proper way, a better way to heal. So make
Yep.
sure, ladies, you go ahead and click on that link so you guys can register for this Saturday at 11 a.m. on the 29th.
Mm.
Okay, you are welcome to bring a sister friend. If you want to bring a sister friend, share this link to her so she can do the same, that she can register as well. Okay,
Right. Right.
yeah. So we are getting ready to move on over to our afterglow.
After
Yes, our afterglow. We're not going to be on there long, ladies. We're just
yeah,
going.
girl. Y'all know how y'all be sometimes. Listen, 30 to 45 minutes. Cut out.
Yes, because I got things to do.
Yes, girl. So yeah, come and join us for the afterglow. That's a great time for you guys to get to come and fellowship and all the things, and we have a lot of fun. So Teresa's put the link in the chat, so that's always the same link. When you type in the password, is sister all lowercase, sister all lowercase. All right. So
Yeah.
we'll catch y'all at the afterglow. Hey, see y'all
Yeah.
next
You
week.
guys take care, and we'll see you all next week. Have a good night.